The hardest thing to deal with, like especially when you're dealing with like television, is time. So I mean, features, you have the luxury of having these large amounts of rehearsal time. With television, we don't. Like, you know, sometimes Maggie will work a 13, 14-hour day and then do rehearsal.
I do, my days off, I do dedicate to not just training, but also developing new skills for her. That were gonna be the Nikita style, we called it. The things that made her the best. You know, if she was taken by division and then trained and was their best, and the one they lost, the one they couldn't control, she has to have something above and beyond what anybody else has ever had.
What's unique to this show is you have three actors. You have Maggie, you have Shane, you have Lindsay, who are immensely physically talented.
You kind of have to bring your A game, and you hope whatever you're doing is, correct.
We find that our actors, some trained, some not, in fighting, really love to do this. You hear actors say all the time they do their own stunts. Everybody here does their own fighting. They come in on their days off to rehearse, and it's very impressive, their dedication, really.
The audience today, you know, you can't really fool them as much as we used to, right? So anything we do now with the actors, I want the audience to know that it's their heroes doing everything they can on screen.
We have to grow in film and television the way that people are growing. And I think because we have this information highway now and you know, all this social media and all the things that people see and are exposed to, they know what's real and what's not. Because they have the option to see the real deal and experience something that's, you know, supposedly real.
Jojo's the best, man. He's so good. I had a lot to learn. I had a lot to learn as far as how to sell things for the camera and, you know, different angles for the punches. I mean, you're not just fighting, you're fighting for the sell of punches or kicks or whatever. So, you know, where the camera is a whole different art.
What ends up invariably happening with action sequences, the cameras are everywhere. So it becomes a real challenge to figure out where the lights have to be.
You can't just be in the moment and kick somebody's ass. You have to be aware of so many things, you know, safety and angles, and there's just so many things to think about. Is that all you got?
The training room, the action sequences we've had in the training room have been pretty simple because there's just been a huge, big softbox.
Approach things from a filmmaker's perspective. So, you know, I like to shoot it, you know, edit it, you know, shoot it, edit it, pre-visualize it, so I can kind of physically convey like what I think the rhythm and timing of the fights should look like. Because otherwise, if I just give you a series of movements, it's just a series of movements. But if you have a series of movements that's combined with story and you know, combine a story and pushes the story forward, then you have something that's memorable and everyone remembers.
Back in LA, I've been trained by different people in weapons and tactics, but soldiers who had come back from Iraq and also LAPD SWAT. I was trained too for a month by them before I did Mission Impossible. So I definitely had a set of skills, but it was taking it from those guys and turning it into something that was a little more feminine, a little bit faster, and something that would be believable for a woman to have these set of skills. And it's not that we can't have the same skill set as men, but it would have to be different to work for us, because obviously we're just scale-wise, we're different.
It's technically, in a lot of ways, very unrealistic for a woman who is just physically weaker. Women are physically weaker than men. So if we're to succeed on film in these ways, there has to be a little bit more creative. It has to be physics. It has to be visually believable.
And if the action is not story-driven the way I want it to be, or character-specific, then we go back to square one and we scrap it and we redesign it, and I watch and scrap again and redesign, and it's a whole process.
Sometimes I'll get a call from Maggie, you know, which will be like, why are we off me for this? You can't tell it's me, you know? And she's, you know, she's very passionate about it all the way through. She'll be like, you know, we need to see this move and we need to see it go all the way.
I think it really makes a difference in the way these fight scenes look, to be able to have the cast members' face there and not just some stand-in, you know, doing the work.
Everyone likes to see a chick kick ass.
Can I see your ID badge, ma'am?
Yes, of course.
Told you.